Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon. Let's have some fun. Story brought to you by Cheryl Alison. I walked past the storefront several times, my heart pounding beneath my facade of nonchalance. Finally, I entered the glass doors. After all, I was several states away from anywhere that anyone might recognize me. There were no other customers in the store, so I was instantly acknowledged by the woman behind the main counter. Her name tag said Rachel on it, and she was a redhead in her 30s, very nicely dressed, as she was the manager of a bridal shop. She was probably thinking at this point that I was a fiancé of one of her customers there to make a last-minute purchase. My first nervous statement was, "I'm looking for bridal gowns in the 12 to 14 range, and I was wondering if you might have a sale rack." She looked somewhat confused as she led me over to a rack along the wall with several dresses covered in plastic. "Here are our current sale items. Is she looking for anything in particular?" I nervously replied, looking away. "Oh, it's not for someone else. It's for me." At this point, I expected the cold shoulder and to be curtly told that the bridal shop didn't serve male clients. Instead, the woman replied, "Oh, how interesting. Is this for a masquerade?" "Well, sort of," I answered, making up a story as I went along. "I lost a bet with my wife, and my end of the deal is to dress as a bride for one weekend." "And your wife made you come here alone? That must have taken some courage." My story was now fixed, and there was no turning back. I had an excuse that offered an easier explanation than that I was a crossdresser. And I now had an opportunity to expand my adventure a bit. Yes, my wife gave me specific instructions to pick out the most feminine gown, and also to purchase matching shoes, hose, underwear, and a peignoir set for sleeping. She wants me to be a bride on Saturday and stay in character for the rest of the weekend. I'm suspicious that she's going to make me go out in public on Sunday. Suddenly, my fantasies were spilling into my story, and I was wondering if I was overdoing it. If I was, Rachel didn't seem to catch on. She said, "This will be fun. Wednesdays are always a slow day anyway. It sounds like you're going to go away with the whole store. We do have a lingerie section, so we should be able to help you with everything she wants for you." With that, we redirected our attention to the rack of bridal gowns. There were 4 choices in my size range. Rachel measured me beforehand to find that I was a size 12, something I already knew. 2 were modern off-the-shoulder designs, which I didn't like, and 2 were more traditional designs. My eyes were instantly drawn to one with an all-over lace bodice with lace sleeves and a very full tulle skirt. Rachel asked me if I would like to try it on. Of course, I agreed. Rachel hung the gown in a fitting room. My heart was beating even harder than before. Then Rachel said, "You know, if your wife is making you buy the undergarments, you might as well try those on at the same time. Most of our brides don't try on the gown and then purchase the foundation garments later." I stammered a positive response as Rachel led me to the lingerie section. I was on sensory overload, just following her lead. She said, "Let's see, first you're going to need a panty worthy of a beautiful bride." I could see she was having fun with this. My face was quite red. "Oh, come on. If you're going to be a lady, you might as well be a well-outfitted lady. Don't be embarrassed. Most of our clients are nervous." Rachel had a very comforting personality. "Here, take this pair," she said, handing me a pair of white silk panties. She then selected a strapless bra, guessing that it would fit, and led me over to the hosiery rack. From the samples above, she pulled down a lace-patterned hose with little bows and roses interwoven in the design. "These are our prettiest hose, I think." I couldn't help but agree. At this point, I wasn't even thinking about what all this would cost. "There," she said. "You have most of your foundation garments. Why don't you go in the dressing room and put them on, but don't put on the dress yet?" "Okay," I said, wondering why she wanted me to leave the dress off. I went into the dressing room and sat down on the velvet stool, stripping off my male clothes. I struggled into the strapless bra, taking some time to pull the hooks together. Then I slipped on the panties, feeling their cool silk against my skin, and realizing that I was about to wear the pinnacle of femininity. From outside the curtain, Rachel said, "Do you know how to properly pull on hose? You don't want to rip those. That would be a shame. I fibbed just a bit when I said, no. What do you mean? Here, said Rachel. Let me come in and help you. Don't be embarrassed. I see women in their underwear all day long. Before I could protest, she had swung the curtain aside and was kneeling in front of my stool, pulling one leg of the pantyhose rolled up onto my foot. There. See how you unroll it as you bring it up the leg? I murmured something resembling understanding as Rachel noticed my legs were showing hair through the lace. Oh, your legs will have to be shaved if you want to look right. Did your wife schedule you a trip to the salon? Well, I guess not, I said. She just told me to purchase the garments and not to come home until I had everything ready to be a bride. Well, if you want to be a bride, then I suggest a trip to the salon. I'll call my friend Tamara and schedule you an appointment. Will 1 hour work for you? Rachel's forceful yet supportive manner caused me to just agree. My friend Tamara runs the salon 2 doors over in the strip mall. I'll give her a ring. Stay right there. I stood in the dressing room, trembling, as Rachel went over to the desk and talked to her friend on the phone. I couldn't hear what she was saying, but Rachel was smiling. She said that will be fine. She'll stay open a little bit late for us. I didn't know what Rachel meant by us at this point, but I was relishing the feel of my new feminine undergarments. Well, you need a slip before we put the gown on. Let's find you one. Rachel went away and came back with a lace bridal slip and helped me put it on. I couldn't believe that she was treating me like any bride that would come through the door. The gown came next, and Rachel helped me slide it on over my undergarments. The tulle skirt whispered over my legs like a ballerina gown, and the feeling was overwhelming. Rachel had me stand in front of a 3-way mirror as she made some adjustments to the gown. Beautiful, she said, smiling broadly at me in the mirror. After the adjustments were made to the gown, Rachel reminded me of my salon appointment. She said, "You know, Tamara could help you better if she could visualize you as a woman. That might be hard to do in your male clothes." I said, "I suppose, but I can't wear this gown outside. That would attract a bit too much attention." Rachel agreed, but she had something else in mind. She said, "You know, I keep a change of clothing in the back, and you're about my size. Let's see what we can dig up for you." She went in the back of the store and returned with a black skirt, a pair of black hose, and a white blouse. "Put these on, and I'll give you some quick makeup so you won't attract too much attention." With that, I undressed once again and put on Rachel's skirt and blouse. She applied a bit of makeup, and we were out the door to the beautician. We attracted no attention in the short way to the beauty shop, which was only 3 doors down. The front of the shop was tastefully decorated with lace curtains over the windows and a sign that read, "Pamper Me Salon." We entered as the last customer for the day was leaving, and Rachel introduced me to Tamara, a 30-something blonde with a permed bob hairstyle and a big smile. "Well, honey, do you have a name?" she asked. Carl," I said, not thinking very quickly and not wanting to use my real name. "No, honey," she said. "That just won't do for a pretty young woman. Colleen sounds better. Well, Colleen, are you ready for the bridal treatment?" "I guess," I said, not knowing what to expect. I was surprised to see that Rachel was still there, but then I realized I was wearing her clothes and I still needed to pay for the bridal gown. Tamara led me over to a chair, fastened a gown around my neck, and proceeded to recline me so that my head was resting in the shampoo bowl. She told me, "You have nice thick hair, and it's nice to meet a guy who doesn't have a buzz cut. I think we can do something with your hair." About now, I realized that I might be getting into more than I bargained for. However, the feminine feelings that were flooding my emotions were so strong, I just went along. Tamara toweled off my hair and then began to comb through it. "Let's see. We want a romantic look for a bride, and that means curls." I had shoulder-length blonde hair, so I figured even with some curl, I wouldn't look too different. I let Tamara do what she was going to do. She wheeled over a cart with lots of bins and began to roll my hair on curlers systematically. The tugging and the pulling felt good as I relaxed in the chair. Once finished with the rollers, she began to apply what I assumed was setting lotion. It felt cool on my scalp. She then led me over to a dryer and informed me that I would have to sit for a half an hour. In the dryer chair, I smoothed my skirt and let the feel of the pantyhose and silk panties comfort me. Tamara then brought over some bridal magazines and showed me some hairstyles. Together, we selected an updo that basically amounted to a cascade of curls from the crown and down around the face. Tamara told me this one requires lots of pins, but it's going to be very elegant. Once I was done at the dryer, Tamara led me back to the chair and rinsed my hair. Then she combed it out and began pinning. When she was done, my hair looked just like the bride's in the book. I couldn't believe that my dull, mundane hair had become almost a work of art. All this time, Rachel from the bridal shop was there in the salon, providing me with encouragement and speaking with Tamara about what was being done. When she saw the hairstyle, she was impressed. She said, "With some artistic makeup, you're going to be gorgeous. Your wife is going to flip." Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for early access and exclusive content.